Hi, welcome to Just Common Sense. My name's Brian Harrison. So tonight we got a serious problem going on right now in Ukraine. There is rumors that a nuclear power plant is being bombarded over there, and Russia needs to stop that right now. There's been different rumors that there's radiation leaking, some radiation not. I'm going to keep up on this pretty much all night and see what goes on with it. It's a very dangerous thing, though, and this is one of the biggest nuclear power plants over there. If this thing goes, if that thing starts leaking radiation, it is a disaster, will kill millions of people perhaps. This is not something you want to take lightly, especially for the Russian soldiers that are targeting that area. So I've got a segment. This one actually came off one of the news sources out there. There's many news sources I use, but this one we're going to listen to, and they're going to talk about it.
Civilian neighborhoods as over 1 million Ukrainian refugees have now fled the country. Let's go to the big board now with special report anchor Brett Baer. Brett.
Hey, Jesse, just in the past few minutes, crossing the wire, the nuclear power plant, one of the biggest in Europe, the biggest in Ukraine, Zaporizhzhia, right here, the plant manager is saying that they are coming under shelling at that nuclear power plant. And that is a big, big deal. Forces, as you heard earlier, surrounding Mariupol here, and you heard from the deputy mayor in your broadcast, they've taken over Kherson here and basically controlling this area. However, this right here is a major development. In fact, just in the past few minutes, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, the Director General, said that the situation was critical and called on the Russian military to stop attacking a nuclear power plant. Now, we saw this concern with Chernobyl up in the north and west, but this is a really tough situation. I'm going to go a little closer here, if I can, to this area. This is exactly where the power plant is, right here.
They're showing at the southern part of Ukraine.
For a lot of negative things happening with shelling of a nuclear power plant, you can imagine. This area along the coast, and Odessa is the next, we think, goal for the Russian forces. They are surrounding Mariupol and trying to control, as you mentioned earlier, this southern portion. As you go around the country up towards Kyiv, we've had the bombardment here in the city itself. We've heard from our guys that convoy we continue to talk about right here and getting supplied by a base in Belarus, but not moving. And it's definitely one of the biggest targets you can ever see in a war situation. And some of them have been taken out, as you were talking about, from drones and from Ukrainian air efforts, but it just has not moved, this convoy, and it's coming close. It's about 15, 20 miles outside the center of Kyiv,
which is up to the north.
The thought is that eventually they will resupply and try to circle each one of these big cities and then continue to bombard if it goes as the playbook in past Russian efforts have gone in Grozny, in Syria, and other places. Jesse.
Thanks so much, Brett.
Okay, so guys, this is a very serious thing. Attacking a nuclear power plant is a very dangerous thing. My opinion on this, and a lot of people, and Jerry and I talked about this last night, not as far as the nuclear power plant, but if this continues like this, and they especially attack a nuclear power plant, which could kill millions of people, this is something that the United States has to step in. The world needs to step in. And if they need to go in there with fighting forces and protect Ukraine at this point, and go in there and protect that nuclear power plant. At least just annihilate all the Russians in that area, and just get them out of there, all the military. That's exactly what I want to say. Get the military out of there, the Russian military, if they're doing that. That cannot go on. That is something that will affect everybody, and even affect the Russian soldiers. They're doing that. That is absolutely stupid. So I just wanted to bring that up tonight. I caught that a little bit ago, and again, let's keep an eye on that throughout the night and listen, because Chernobyl acted up many years ago. There was a disaster there. It was all over the news. Look up the history of Chernobyl. Look it up. YouTube it, Google it, whatever you need to do to research it. Now, I want to mention something. You had the press secretary today, Psaki. She was actually talking about buying fuel from Russia. The news reporters were asking her. And she's saying, well, this is why we need to buy fuel from Russia, as she's lying through her teeth. Now, that being said, she's going through this whole reason why the world needs to buy fuel from Russia. Now, this is the funny part, and it's crazy in many ways. Nancy Pelosi was on the other side over at the House talking about, guess what? We need to stop buying fuel from Russia, and we need to stop it now. And she looked mad about it. She looked pissed. First time in my life, and I was eating lunch when this happened, I thought I was going to choke on my food, fall on the floor, and pass out when I said, oh my gosh, I have to agree with her on something? But anyway, it's out there. Check it out. I don't know what really happened. I don't know. Maybe if her and Joe Biden didn't get on their little playbook and go through what really needs to be done. And we have to agree with each other because guys know how I feel about Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is just crazy in the head anyway, but I feel that way about Joe Biden. Now, we watched her on the State of the Union speech the other night. I'm laughing because did you guys see her the other night? It was hilarious, but sad and scary at the same time. Did you see her stand up there as Biden was speaking and she's standing behind him looking like this with her hands and knuckles rubbing together and her eyes really weird looking like, my precious. That just made everybody laugh when I did that. And that's the way it looked. I'm just saying, I don't get it. It's an embarrassment to our country. It's an embarrassment to the world and to the people. It really is. And to see what they said about what they talked about when Joe Biden, by the way, was talking about, guess what? We're going to make gas prices go down because we're going to go ahead and take gas out of our reserves, right? With the rest of the world, of course. He said that as well. Well, rumor has it there was like 2 days of reserves, and I had a little debate with several people on this. They're like, oh no, gas prices are going to drop. No, they're not, I said. They're going to go up. What happened today? In Raleigh, North Carolina, in some areas, gas prices went up 40 cents. 40 cents a gallon. Bingo. I said it from the get-go. That's what happens. Now, guess what? Think about this, guys. If these reserves, if this happens, if the gas prices were to drop, do you want to know how much it might drop by? 5 cents, 10 cents max? Well, let's do the math. We already went up, 40 cents. We'll give it to 10 cents. We'll take that down. So we're still 30 cents more a gallon one day. Remember, common sense this show's about. That's what it's about. And it's about common sense, which most of Americans have that. Well, I don't know about most. Some of the sheep out there don't. So I saw Ron DeSantis today. It was 2 days ago. He was sitting there and he was telling the kids, look, take the mask off. He had to have the kids behind him. And then he said, it is up to you. It's your choice, but take them off. Because masks don't work. I've said it before. He said it, and that's correct. I can prove this 100%, 1,000% by 1,000% on this. The only mask that works is an N9 or a true 95, N95. Has to be fitted, has to be smell tested, good for 2.5 hours. You know why I know that? Because I've spoken to many doctors and nurses in the field that work with it all the time. That's the case. These other masks are blood masks. That's all they're for. Might help with the pollen a little bit. I'm still seeing people scared taking them off, and that's their choice. Your choice if you want to do that. But it will affect you mentally if you continue to wear this and be in fear of this virus. With the virus, treat it with respect. Know it's out there, But again, live your life. Because if you live in fear, your immune system's going to drop. You are going to get sick. And believe it or not, people, I hate to say this, but people need to get sick on other stuff like colds and things like that. Because guess what? That's what builds your immunity up. Anyway, I didn't want to really get into the whole COVID thing tonight. I just wanted to talk about that, what DeSantis said, because I was in 100% agreement with him on that. And then, of course, you had the news agencies, the Cartoon News Network, and all the other news networks attacking him right away. He's bullying them. Oh, guess what? They're bullying the kids when they want to keep kids out of school and force them to wear a mask. Why the adults sometimes don't. It's a messed up world, guys. It really is, and we're seeing it all over the place. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well. Google it, check it out. It's out there. I couldn't believe it, and I cannot believe The View, how they stood up against him. Well, I can believe them. The View's more of a joke to me. You got Whoopi Goldberg. She's one of the biggest jokes. You know, and there's a show, and I'm not going to get into it. We'll just say it's a sci-fi show. And I loved her on the sci-fi show. She was on it for years. And she's getting ready to go back into this certain role. I'm not going to get into it, but you guys will figure it out. And I myself probably am not going to watch it because she's on it. It's sad because I would love, it's one of my favorite shows. But because she's on it and the way she's acting, forget it. I'm out. But that being said, hey, your choice if you want to watch this stuff. All right, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this tonight. We really need to focus on what's going on over in Russia right now. Look, the Russian president wanted to do a ceasefire so he can get this under control. He asked Putin if they would meet face-to-face. Well, Putin gave him his answer tonight. In my opinion, this is it. If they go after a nuclear power plant, the world needs to step in. They need to send forces in there and get these guys away from that nuclear power plant. The U.S. needs to stand in there. All of Europe and many other countries go in as a NATO force, even though they're not part of NATO. Maybe we need to make them part of NATO. Get in there, get that cleaned up. And then if you need to back out, back out. But don't let them near those plants. I mean, seriously. Now, China, we're going to talk about the president of China. You know what? He's siding with Putin. I said this was going to happen. Keep an eye out on that. Love the Chinese people, love the Russian people. But again, governments are corrupt. And that president went blank there. See, I'm starting to sound like Joe Biden today. No, he needs to understand that this cannot happen. And he should be talking to Putin saying, you guys need to stop this. Because this is going to affect not only lives, it's going to affect everybody, including China, with finances and everything. If that thing goes, it's going to cause devastation throughout the world in many ways. Said a lot on this show, and a lot of it's become true, and we've seen that. Doesn't mean I'm right on everything, but I get a lot of things right, apparently. Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and talk with you guys about that. It's a short podcast, short YouTube tonight. And go to my website, www.just-markcommonsense.com. Again, www.just-markcommonsense.com. Give me some feedback. Join my YouTube, my podcast, share, and subscribe. And get me out there. And I'm waiting to see where the truck drivers are going. They're moving around. We're going to hear about them real soon. I got a feeling maybe they'll head to D.C. in another week or two. I think they're going around the country. I hear there's another one coming through the Raleigh, North Carolina area soon. But they're just going around the country getting more momentum, getting everything built up. So that's good. Good for them. I'm in agreement. Freedom of choice. So I will say that. Anyway, as always, I want to thank our law enforcement. You guys are awesome. I mean, awesome. I am so proud of our law enforcement for everything they do. I also want to thank our military. Spoke to some military people today. They realize how much I love the military. We talked quite a bit about the military. Most of them were retired, by the way. But, like I said, let them have a chance to talk, especially the elderly that are in the military, because they love to tell stories of when they were in the military. That was a big part of their life, a huge part. And they deserve They deserve to be listened to because of what they put themselves through to risk freedom of choice and to risk their life for you and your freedoms. All right, I also want to thank our first responders as well. You guys are awesome. You guys have gone through a lot as well. You guys are going through a lot with vaccine mandates. A variety of you didn't want that. Again, we understand that. Thanks for the truck drivers for being out there and supporting you. Thanks for our first responders for being out there and trying to get this handled and taken care of, everybody. So I give you guys applause there. I give everybody applause, all of you out there, except the sheep and the radical left. So you know what you get? That's about where you are right now if you don't know what's going on in the real world right now. I told you we had some fun on this show tonight too, but we got serious problems going on, very serious. All right, again, want to thank our farmers out there. You guys are doing a great job. Obviously, we see gas prices going up. Food prices are going up. Thank you, Joe Biden. I want to see everybody do this now. With Joe Biden, I want you to point at the gas pumps. I want you to point at those empty gas or empty shelves, I should say, in the grocery stores, and put your little stickers up saying, "I did that," with a picture of Joe Biden. Think I'm kidding. I have a lot of friends who are actually out there doing that. Good for them. All right. God bless you. We'll have fun on the show, like I said. Lots of fun. I'll be on again tomorrow night. God bless you. God bless America. Take care. Have a great night. And I will talk with you soon. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Take care.